just about 1 minute. I hope you guys are excited about tonight as I am. Not just because it's Super Bowl night, but because of what we're going to talk about tonight. It is 7 p.m. and it is time to get started. Welcome to another episode of Mind Matters, where we will be discussing matters of the mind because the mind matters. I am Altima Ray Elvis, and I would like to say thank you so much for joining me on this mindset journey. Remember to like, share, subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, remember, click that bell so that you are able to get that notification every time I post a new video. All right, I'm not going to keep you long tonight. Hopefully, I don't keep you long tonight because I know it's Super Bowl night and everybody is into the game. So we are going to be talking about failing forward. Failing forward. You know, failure is something that's, fear of failure is something that stops so many of us from reaching our full potential, from, going after what it is that we really want. And so tonight we're going to talk about how to fail forward. And on my flyer, you'll see that it says failure is a part of success. You can't have success without failure. We allow, fear of failure to stop us from, entering relationships, from having relationships with people, from our careers, going after the job that we really want because we may not feel as though we're good enough for the job, or maybe somebody's better than it, or you're afraid that, okay, maybe I won't be any good, but that's the job that you want. That's the career that you want to go into. You may allow that fear of failure to stop you from starting that new business. You've had it and you've worked on it and you've gone over all the details, but yet you are still there just saying, okay, soon, I'll do it soon. And then you have that fitness, the fear of failure with your fitness as well. What if I go and I exercise and, I don't lose the weight, or maybe I get too bulky, or maybe I get too skinny, or people gonna, what are people gonna say about, what I'm doing? But it all goes back, fear of failure, and the way we deal with failure all goes back to our mindset. What do you believe? The way you think affects the way that you act. All right, so the way you think determines the way that you feel, and the way that you feel determines the way that you act. And so if you want to change the way that you act, then you must begin by changing the way you think. Because your thoughts are autopilots for your life. All right, so here's the thing. I have 3 children. For most of you who know me, I have 3 children. My oldest is 19. I have a 14-year-old, and I have a 4-year-old. All 3 of my children are walking. And I would say they're walking pretty well. They're able to jump, skip, hop. However, all of them started to walk at different points in their life. My oldest child, my daughter, she started walking after she turned 1. She was like, I think 13 months when she started to walk. And even after she started walking, she was just one of those children that, she would trip over her own foot. And she was a little clumsy when she just started to walk. So, she fell a lot as she learned to walk. And even after, as I said, she fell a lot. My second daughter, she started walking at 9 months. She got up one day, she took a step, she fell once. And then she got back up and she walked. No crawling and no going for a couple days and then, oh, she's walking. No, she just got up, fell one time, and then she got up again and she was walking. My son, my last child, he started walking at about 11 months. He, went through the usual routine, falling, getting up, falling, getting up. But all three of them are walking, but all three of them fell at some point while they were learning to walk. Why am I telling you this? Failure is the same way. We fall, we mess up, we fail, but then we have to get back up. We must get back up. If you don't get back up, then what? You have given up, which means you're actually failed. So, but if you fail and you get back up, you haven't truly failed. What you have done is you've learned from your failure to now help you to ensure that when you get back up, whatever you're doing is being done better. So your failures are your lessons. So when you fall, you use those as lessons. Now, if you're not using them as lessons, then most definitely they're failures. So if you're going through when you started a business and your first business failed, and you now analyze what is it that went wrong, why this business failed. You learn from that. But you're not going to say, oh, I'm not going to start another business because my first business failed and I'm losing all this money and I'm not going to do that again. You don't want to do that. What you want to do is, as I said, learn from the mistakes, learn from the falls that you've had. Some of us are going to fall a little less than others. As I said, my second girl, she fell once and that was it. She just got up and she started walking. My first girl, even now I believe she's scared of running because she's scared of falling, but each person, each experience, each of us will experience failure differently, and some more than others. You may see somebody try the same thing as you and they just soar at it, and you may try it and you keep falling, but that's something you really want to do. But you're not going to base your experience, you're not going to base what you want to do or your accomplishment or your success on what somebody else has done or somebody else's failure or somebody else's success. You base it on you. What is it that you are trying to accomplish? What is your purpose in life? What is your passion in life? And if it is your passion, if you have that desire to get something done, the amount of times you fall should not matter, because you have that burning desire to get that done. So as we're growing up, and one of the things that kind of hit me as I was preparing for this is, where do we get this fear of failure from? There's so many persons who hold back because they're afraid of failing. They're afraid of making mistakes. As children, sometimes we're punished for making mistakes. And I'm not saying don't punish your children, most definitely. The Bible says that we're supposed to chastise, and God chastises us when we do wrong. Now, that is wrong, when we do wrong. Now, there's a difference between making a mistake and failing at something and being punished for failing at something. And there's a difference with punishing a child because they've done something wrong. Now, if we're constantly punishing children because they failed, what are we teaching them? We're teaching them you are not supposed to fail, which is not what we want. You want to motivate them to do better. And yes, punishment comes in sometimes when you know that they can do better and they don't. But then it shouldn't be where they feel as though they should not fail or they should not make mistakes. So we want to get our children, and it starts as children, because how we are now, we didn't just get like this today. We started from children growing up. So a lot of who we are and what we are comes from how we grew up, what we went through growing up. That doesn't mean you can't change, but a lot of what we are is because of that. All right. So let us now, who are grown or older and have our children, make sure that when children do something that they failed at, you encourage them to do better. You explain to them, even if they're going to get a punishment, they should know why they're being punished. This is what you've done. This is what you should have done. This is what you should do the next time that you're put in this situation. You don't just punish children just because they've done it. Oh, this is what I say, and that is the end of that. Explain to them the reason for their punishment so that they are understanding why they shouldn't do this behavior again. All right, so let us train our children from early that failure is fine once you get back up and you try again. Nothing is wrong with failing. We don't want to fail. But once we learn from our failures, then, we haven't really failed. We've learned lessons. And sometimes we wait on people to fail. We're scared to step out of our comfort zone. We have these bright ideas, and when God gave them to you, because your ideas are God-given, and when God gives you these ideas, you just hold on to them, and you're waiting for somebody else. You're waiting on the right time. You're waiting for somebody else to try it to see whether or not it's going to work for them. And if it works for them, then you try it. What about you going out and trying it so that somebody can look at you and say, okay, they're trying it and this is working for them. Or at least they tried it. I wonder if I should try it as well. So you need to step out. You need to be the first person to try something. If it's something that's new and never been done and it's your idea, don't wait too long. Somebody else, number one, may come and take that idea and just soar with it. Number two, if you wait too long, you may just let it slide. You're waiting on the right time. That's procrastination, especially if you have given it so much thought. Work, you're born to prosper. You're born to be healthy. You're born to live well, to be happy. But do you believe it? If you believe it, then you wouldn't be afraid of failing. You wouldn't be afraid of trying something new. Because God created you to be happy. You know that God created you to be healthy, to live well, to live prosperous. And all of this we have to do in faith. We have to believe. We have to work on us. And as I said, all of this fear of failure, failing forward, has to do with our minds. How do you look at failure? How do you see failure? Do you see failure as something that's going to stop you? That is a deterrent from you getting to your goals? Or are you using your failures as stepping stones to get to your goals? What are you doing? Are you worried about, why are you afraid of failure? I know why I am afraid of failure. A lot of times it's because I am afraid of what people may think. I wonder if she feels as though she's better than everybody else, or she thinks because she has a degree that you're better. I've had so many different things that go through my head when I'm actually having to do something new, stepping out of my comfort zone, out of my box. Even as I said, this platform, me sitting here today, I'm stepping out of my comfort zone. I am quiet. I stay to myself. I usually don't have much to say, but I know that God has placed so much on my heart. I know that I am capable of so much more. I know that I'm capable of helping persons. I know that I'm capable of motivating others. And because of that, I said, you know something, it doesn't make sense staying in my shell. It doesn't make sense staying where I'm comfortable. Because if I stay where I'm comfortable, I'm never going to grow. And I would love to grow. I want to grow. I feel myself growing. And I'm hoping that as we are going through this journey together, that you are doing things that you are stepping out of your comfort zone doing, so that you too can grow. Don't worry about what people think, because you're doing this for you, for your growth. All right, so live out what you imagine. You have these ideas, live them out. You know, the Bible tells us that we are to live by faith and not by sight. So a lot of times we are worried about what it is that we can do instead of doing what we can do and allowing God to do the rest. Doing what He has asked you to do and allowing Him to do the rest. Do what you can to the best of your ability, and God will do the rest. Albert Einstein said, "Show me a man who has never failed, and I will show you a man who has never tried anything." So don't be afraid of failing, because failure comes with success. So failure is a part of reaching success. You have to, or if it's something that you're trying, even if it's not something new, even if it's not if it's something that other people have tried, the fact of the matter is you're trying it for the first time, or you may be doing it for the first time. I'm sure I'm not the only person. I'm positive I'm not the only person who has done a live on Facebook or on any other platform. But yet, when I just started out, I mean, I think I'm just starting out still, you know, but it's there's a fear of failure there. There's a fear of not saying the right thing, or not being grammatically correct. All of that, you know, but nothing tried, nothing done. All right, so try it. Even if you don't know how, you will do it. God does not tell us to know how to do it. He tells us to trust Him. All right, so try it, and God will do the rest. There are some things in life that defy logics. We're supposed to, as I said, walk by faith and not by sight. Be confident in yourself. Don't let people try to stifle your shine. People will sometimes, oh, you can't speak properly, or you can't do this, or you're not slim enough, or you're not pretty enough, or you're not you don't have the right whatever it is for whatever it is you're trying to do. But if that is your purpose, if you feel that that is your calling and that is what makes you happy, then go for it. Only you know what you're capable of. And nobody can take that from you. Only you know what you're capable of. You don't have to prove yourself to anybody. Your dreams are your dreams, not anybody else's. They're yours. You know what your goals you've set out for the year. People may look at your goals for the year and say, boy, this is ridiculous. You're never going to achieve these, but you know what you're capable of. Do you know you you don't want to take shortcuts, and fear is a part of not taking those shortcuts. You don't want to try and get to where you're going by taking the easy route. Usually there aren't, the easy route is usually the wrong route. All right, so don't try to shortcut yourself. Don't try to shortcut to success. Every success is in steps. You don't want to jump from the bottom step all the way to the top step, because in between those steps, all those other steps that you would have skipped out have lessons in them for when you get to the top step. All right, so you want to take each step, appreciate each step, celebrate each step, celebrate each failure, learn from each failure, and then move on to the next step. And as you get to the top, you'll realize that every single failure that you have gone through has prepared you for the next step. Proverbs 24, verse 16 says, a righteous man falls 7 times, but he gets back up. But the wicked falls into calamity. All right. So even the Bible tells us that we're going to fall. All right. So you shouldn't be afraid of failure, because even the Bible tells us you will fall. It didn't say you might fall. It says the righteous falls 7 times, but gets back up. So it's not just about the falling, it's about the getting back up. You have to be able to go through your failures with still and with that enthusiasm to get to the end. All right. So whatever you're doing, you're making sure that even if you fail 1,000 times, you go through each failure with that same enthusiasm as when you started out. Get back up, because if God has given you a vision, it's only a matter of time before you get to that place where He wants you. He's not going to allow you to get there before the time that you're supposed to get there. Be patient. Or be patient with yourself. Be patient with the process. Be patient in your failures. Be persistent. Keep going. Don't give up. If this is what you're called to do, if this is your purpose, if this is your passion, don't give up. And always be positive. Don't be negative. Always be positive. If you're thinking negatively, every time you go through a failure, what's going to happen? You're going to constantly be failing, even when the next step would have been led to success. Because you're constantly thinking negative, then negativity is always going to be there. Les Brown, I was listening to a recording with Les Brown last week, and in this recording he was saying that he wanted to be in a particular magazine, and he kept calling the magazine to speak to the man in charge. Can't remember the name, don't want to make up any names, but he kept calling, and every time he would call, they said, oh, he's busy, he can't take your call. So one day he ended up doing a motivational speech, and the man was there from the magazine, and the man came up to him afterwards and said, oh, you did such an amazing job, I'm going to make sure that you're in the magazine. And he said, thank you so much. Days went by, nothing. Weeks went by, nothing. So he kept calling, may I speak to so and so? Oh, he's busy, he can't speak to you. 2 years went by, and every time he called, he would say, thank you so much, I'm so happy that you're going to be to put me in the magazine. He used to write letters, thank you so much, I can't wait to see the magazine article with me. And he kept calling, and there was no time that he was negative to the point, oh, you kept lying to me. He could have done that, but what he did, he kept thanking the manager for putting him in, or for saying these nice things. He kept sending his bio in. He kept sending articles about himself, kept sending information about himself. And today he is in that magazine. So we have to, yes, life may throw things at us that are negative, and yes, we may fail at things, and yes, persons may do things or say things and make promises that they don't keep. But we have to be positive with every failure that we go through. Don't take failure personal. It's a part of life. It happens. Life happens. You may have something planned totally, and then life happens. Don't take it personal. Learn from it. Move on. Success is about walking from failure to failure without losing that enthusiasm. Stay enthusiastic about your goals. Here's a question you need to ask yourself. If you had 6 months to live, what would you do differently? If you went to the doctor tomorrow and the doctor tells you you have 6 months to live, say even 3 months to live, what would you do differently? Would you still continue down the road that you're going now? Would you take more risks? Would you start that business? Would you call more persons? Would you be more outgoing? What would you do differently if you had only 6 more months to live? Think about it. And here's the thing. You're not even promised tomorrow. So you're not even promised 6 months. Tomorrow is promised to no man. So today, live today as if it were your last. Meaning that whatever you would have done if the doctor gave you 6 months to live, whatever goals you would try to accomplish, start them now, because tomorrow is promised to no one. Step out of your comfort zone. Take those risks. Don't be afraid to try something new. Spend more time with your family. Don't worry about failing, because as I said, tomorrow is promised to no one. Albert Einstein said, and I think I quoted it already, the person who has never failed has never done anything or has never attempted anything. Live today as it were your last. Take those risks. Bring adventure to your life. Have faith, because greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. Thank you so much for viewing. I hope that as you would have viewed today, that you would have a better understanding of failure and failing forward. Allow those failures to help you to move forward, because every failure is a stepping stone to success. See you next week for another episode of Mind Matters, where we will continue on this mindset journey. Enjoy your week, and may God continue to bless each and every one of you and your families. Remember, change your mindset, change your mind. What's on your mind?